Welcome to the DJ Insider Podcast, sponsored by Amplified Events.
It's the only podcast where we break down insider information from our weddings, experiences, and advice from over 15 years in the wedding industry.
We're your hosts. I'm Mike Kane, owner of Amplified Events.
And I'm Chris Zart, general manager of Amplified Events.
Let's get into it.
Howdy.
How's it going?
It's going good. It was a good weekend.
Good. Tell me about yours.
Yeah, I just had one wedding and then one tasting at the Velpo Journeyman. But I had not been at this venue since it's been like 2 years, but it's this just country club in Hinsdale, Illinois. I always forget.
Hinsdale? Yeah.
Hinsdale, yeah. Ruth Lake Country Club. Great team over there and just super pretty spot. I did her sister's wedding 2 years ago.
Bride's sister.
Yeah, bride's sister. And it rained during the ceremony, unfortunately. Oh. And then, of course, during her wedding day, it rained. So they really wanted a cocktail hour like outside. I found like one dry spot on the patio to put my speaker, like the one spot that like wasn't getting rained on. And they were, they told me, they're like, I really appreciate you putting the speaker out there. We really wanted people to go outside. Not a lot of people did, but you tried. So like they were happy about that. But yeah, we got going. It was just a great night, killer dance floor. This is the first time this has ever happened to me. I felt really embarrassed. It wasn't a big deal, but for cocktail hour and for ceremony, I typically like to Bluetooth in just through my phone. So I have like a wireless speaker, and it's really nice in this area. They didn't really have close power. So I had, totally wireless speaker, wireless setup. I'm plugged in playing cocktail hour, and then we're going in reception. I tear the whole speaker down, put it away, throw it in my car, and then we are doing introductions, kick it off. Bridal party comes in, going great. We go straight into speeches. We're in speeches, and then I hear like very faintly in the background, like you have to like listen for it, but I hear music in the background. And I heard like when I got there, like the venue had music playing. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I talked to the coordinator. I'm like, hey, I can hear. She's like, oh, okay. She's like, I'll go deal with that right now. So they're like running around. They come back. They're like, we can't find anything on our system playing. I'm like, okay. So we like get done with speeches. I get dinner music going. I go and I check my phone. My phone had Bluetoothed in to some random speaker at the venue and continued playing cocktail hour music through that. Like, I didn't even accept it. It literally just latched on Bluetooth to some random, I don't even know if it was like the venue speaker or if it was someone's random Bluetooth speaker, just like, but it was like not in the room. Like it was muffled, but I could just hear that there was music. So I'm like, oh, it's the venue. They're also a country club. They have background. So yeah, it latched on. Luckily, nobody noticed whatsoever.
You could hear it, but no one else could.
Yeah, but once we got dance floor going, it was just like a killer night. Like, couldn't get them to leave the dance floor. It was a super fun time. But I just thought, I was like, I'm like, who is this person? Who's this asshole? It's me. It's me. I found out it's me.
Any big songs of the night or any fun, crazy things happen?
I was just it was just a really solid night. There was the couple was out there a lot, which I really love. Not everyone's extroverted and wants to be on the dance floor. That's totally fine. But there is like a really cool experience you get with your dance floor when you have your couple out there the majority of the night and everyone's like hyping them up and, getting in a big circle. I mean, I've not had a wedding in a while where they were just like screaming the words to so many songs.
Oh, I love that.
Just reminded me of why I love this job.
Yes.
This is just one of those weddings, but
yeah. I mean, I had the same thing happen to me on Saturday. We were at Aberdeen. Beautiful, of course. Excellent staff, work with Christian and Aaron. It was so fun. We, got there early, got set up. We were just doing no ceremony this time. So it was just cocktail intros, dinner, dancing, all that. But everything was just perfect. 10 of 10 wedding.
Nice.
I mean, full floor all night, everybody singing, having a good time. Couple gave me a lot of music, and they kind of like gave me like the parameters for that, and they just kind of let us do our thing, and they loved dancing. The groom had cigars outside.
Nice.
Everybody was having a good time. It was so fun. Full floor all night. Trying to think some of the hits or some of the fun things. We did have someone come up and they wanted a slow song, but it was like part of the raging part of the night. But if we could have worked it in, I would have, but weren't able to. And then she came up and was like, oh, actually don't do that. Do this other one. And now it was like 2 songs left of the night. And I was like, oh yeah, Cyndi Lauper. And I just cheersed her. She's like, don't do Wonderful Tonight. Do Girls Just Want to Have Fun. And I go, Cyndi Lauper. Love that song. Cheers. Didn't say I'd play it. I just cheers to her. I was like, good song, you know? Like, I couldn't play it. You know, we had 2 songs left. Like, we definitely had to do that last song for the bride and groom, you know?
Yep. And the venue, they got it. You know,
Yeah,
you
we're
gotta get out
done.
of there.
Yeah, we're getting out of there. So the staff was fantastic to work with. It was, I mean, it was just so fun. Like, it was, again, it's the kind of night where you're like, this is why I do what I do. There's just so much energy. It was packed. It must have had 250, 270, quite a few people.
Yeah.
They even shortened the dance floor. It was a tighter dance floor, which really makes it feel really full, even when there's like 20 people.
Right.
And yeah, everyone's just singing and just smooth mixing. It was great. Jeff took over, did a big portion of the night. It was really, really good.
I just love that feeling of like, there are times where it's just a long day. You know, we you know, maybe we're doing ceremony and it's a full thing. It's, you know, 15-hour work day and we have a long drive. You're like tired. There's just times where like I could go another 2 hours with this dance floor. Like I wanted to just keep pushing. Like they had to get on that shuttle and get out of there. But I was like, I was ready to just, you know, stay with them as long as they let me.
Oh, I know something that was kind of fun that would happen. And you're going to stay tuned because this will be a years-long thing. But Jeff and I kind of got back and forth about, like, you know, who's the better DJ, who's the better comedian. And I went to his comedy show on Friday. And they had, like, layout problems. Like, it was, like, they had him up in a balcony. It was where the people were, and you couldn't hear anything. The sound was bad. So I was like, oh, my gosh, like, there's so many things they could have done differently that would have made the show so much better that I've learned from doing weddings. So anyways, we were kind of just in that mode talking, and he's like, there's no way you could do what I do, you know? And it's just like, you could try all your whole life and you'd never be. And I was like, you know, challenge accepted. So basically, I'm going to try to prepare like a comedy set. And a year from now, I'm going to try to like basically put together, you know, 10, 15 minutes.
This has been on your bucket list for a while.
I know,
anyway,
but now it's a kind of a challenge. And I go, you need to do like a 9 or 10 wedding. Like, you need to crush it. Where I don't do any of the mixing. I just assist you. And you like, basically the standard is he has to impress me with his DJing and with his MCing at the wedding, you know. Like, it has to be impressive. And I have to put together a 10 to 15 minute set of material
that will impress
him. But we were going to ask like other people in the industry, like, I was going to ask you, like, things I should be looking for that, like, I want to make sure he does or doesn't do as a DJ to impress me. Like, I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this longer than I think he's been doing comedy. And I told my wife, she's like, oh, you've got this hands down. She's like, you're way funnier than he is good at DJing. And then he even admitted, he was like, I think you're a pretty funny guy. But I was like, I think you're a pretty good DJ. Like, you have a lot of these skills in the bag. And it's a little, in my opinion, it's probably a little easier to throw a great dance floor than it is to make everybody in the room laugh, you know.
You're still entertaining them.
You're still entertaining them.
That pressure is on.
Yes. Yeah. The difference is that you can come prepared with stuff. And if you have the confidence to run the room, then you should be fine. But yeah, if people aren't laughing, it's a tough room, it's a tough crowd.
That is, I guess, okay, so the difference, I guess, is that comedy, you can't really just switch it up.
Nope.
You are who you are.
You are.
If they just don't like you and they don't like your jokes, then that's just going to be it.
Yeah.
DJing, it's like, if you're not hitting the right music, you can always play different music.
That's it.
And then after that, if it's not working, sometimes there's just
you can't draw blood from a stone or whatever. Is that the you know, trying to bleed out all these stones. But so anyway, what are some things that I should be looking for, or basically looking that Jeff's avoiding if he's going to, a year from now, basically a year from his wedding, August 3rd, by August 3rd next year, he's going to have the performance of a lifetime to impress me.
Right.
And if I have the performance of a lifetime on stage as a comedian, then to impress him.
Okay.
That's kind of the bet, you know.
Right.
That I can't possibly do.
So where do you want to start? Like what you should be looking out for?
If he's DJing the wedding and I'm assisting him, what I want to see, basic things that like he needs
to meet that expectation.
Yeah. What would impress me with him DJing? Just basic, even.
I guess, you know, well, this one will probably be the easiest for him, but solid, articulate, confident emceeing.
Yeah.
Just kills the intros. All announcements are solid and you know, easy to understand, but I think he's going to do just fine at that.
Yeah. Ideally, a good rapport with the crowd.
Right.
They're kind of hanging on your words. They're kind of energized by what you're saying and interested. Yeah.
I think he'll have that because that's already kind of part
he already does that. Yeah.
His hosting, you know, comedian thing. So, but that will be important.
Sure.
I think mixing, just general, like, smooth mixing. He's confident with the board. You can tell, because you can tell when someone's mixing, because we have all these newer guys now, of like when someone you know, you and I, like, we can, like,
Yeah.
there's times where I'm just like flying,
Yes, yeah.
because it's muscle memory. You
Yes.
know, you'll have to see that.
Yeah.
If he's like,
Yeah, if he has any kind
Yeah.
of like
Doesn't know where the button is.
hesitation
Yeah.
or letting a song end, like you can't have any songs like let him trail off or end or no
Right.
dead air.
Smooth transitions,
Yeah.
solid mixing, and then after that, song selection.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, like did he? One, is the couple happy because are they getting their songs they wanted to play? If that's, every couple's different. Some people
Yeah.
don't care at all. But if he's hitting that mark, and if, you know, solid dance floor, I think we should still set him for success. Like, if like have him be
Oh, of
at a
course.
venue in a wedding that like we know there's a good chance it's going to be a good dance
Yeah.
floor. Like, after that, that's on him. Yeah. Other than just music, I don't know, setup. Like, he should be able to handle the whole thing himself. That's probably.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be
too-
there to assist him,
that
but I
bar's a
want to
little too
see,
low.
I want to see clean lines, hidden cables.
I guess that's what I mean.
I want to
then.
see trash bags all put away. Like,
Right.
you know, I want it to look like a beautiful professional setup.
Yeah, fits within our brand.
I think he'll
Yeah.
be fine with that. He's usually pretty good at that part of it. Definitely song selection. Definitely want the crowd just like eat. Like, you can't play a bad song. Like, you just intuitively read the crowd, and you just look. I was mixing, and then it was like crush, you know. And then I'm like, oh, and I was looking at their list of like songs that we hadn't played yet, and I saw Hotel Room, which is like I love, and I was like, and I knew it was gonna mix, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, watch this, Jeff, dude, just boom, and then you know, just everybody.
There's something about that song too, when like, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked, but like just that beginning, like do 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 do, and it just, when it hits,
Yeah.
it always like,
Yes.
like, I don't know.
Well,
That
I think
song
I even
works.
dropped it over the outro beat, you know, that kind of thing. I did a couple echo fade outs and stuff that he was like really impressed with, because I was like, this song's, we had a few songs. I'm like, it's starting to get stale. And I was like, look at them, look at the crowd, you know, they're kind of next one, you know,
Right.
like we're not doing anything wrong, but we can increase energy just by doing, you know,
I
want him
That's
to like
such a great
intuitively
feeling.
know, not
Yeah.
ask, you know, and just
Yes.
crush it. Definitely no technical problems. Can have any like, you
as
know,
long as they're with, okay, well, that could be, that's kind of a gray area. If there is a technical problem that's out of his control,
sure. How does he handle it? Yes.
So, because there are things that just happen.
There's a mic
you know?
drop out. There's interference. You know, a speaker cracking. If there's a power,
Yes.
we're not grounded properly.
I guess, and that was actually kind of going off my other one, which was just how does he handle the bad stuff?
Yeah.
Like rude guest.
Last minute
You know,
changes. Yeah.
last minute
rude guests
changes.
and drunken.
Yeah, is it handled well? Because also this is the thing that of like comedians, it's like they just want to say what they want to say.
Yeah. There's a lot of arrogance there.
So-
Yeah.
There's times where like we're working together, and he's like, you know, making this joke, and I'm just like, we gotta please the people.
Yeah,
We gotta,
hold on.
we're here for the people.
We're here to serve.
So yeah, I guess it just, how does he handle the stress and when things go wrong? If they do, sometimes days just go so perfect and you don't even believe it. Like,
Yeah.
that was kind of, other than my speaker thing, I was like, man, everything like I would have to try to mess up.
Yes.
Like that's
yes. Yeah, but I guess what I'm ultimately looking for is that every night you have a few of those weddings a season where you're just reinvigorated.
Yeah.
Where it's just you and the crowd are vibing off each other's energy, and you're like, this is why I do what I do. I love this. Like I would talk about, it's a symphony. Like they're just dancing, and it's just you've got them.
And when you said it of like, oh, that's such a good feeling of you're like songs in and you're like, you're crushing them, and then you see songs that you just know are going to
it's
destroy
like
them.
this is not even
Yeah.
fair. It's
No.
not even fair. I don't even know what's going to hit them next, you know. And they just woo, you know, people going crazy. Yeah, I mean, imagine that would be like people laughing, clapping, you know, on the comedy side, or even like, I mean, standing ovation. That'd be a lot.
Well, so are we going to get into the inverse of this? Of like,
Well,
what
I
is he gonna
imagine
look
he'll
for?
share some of that. He is going to let me.
We should have him on, and then
Yeah, he's going to start
yeah.
doing an open mic night, so I can come in and can try material out and see
Nice.
what works. And
Oh yeah, test the waters.
yeah, but I think what he's going to want to see is, you know, obviously several bits that hit that and have some crowd work. That's kind of a more veteran move. Because at first he said, because I'm like, what's the equivalent? He said headlining. I go, I think headline's a veteran thing. Like, you should be doing that. You know, if you're headlining, you should have 5 to 10 years. You know, you got a full 30 minutes to an hour set that kills.
Yeah, because it's not like Jeff's in the next year going to have 10 years of DJ experience.
That's my point. Yeah. So I was like, but in a year's time of him crushing weddings for, you know, basically in a year's time, will he be able to perform at a wedding enough to where it impresses me? It's like an 8, 9, or a 10 type of wedding where everything is flowing. The crowd is responding really well. His emceeing's on point. His mastery of his equipment, his song selection, his mixes, everything is just there.
Yeah.
And like, it's just like he's doing and he's impressing me. Like he's doing just as good, if not better, of a job than I would have done. And that's what I'm trying to do for him, but comedy-wise. But again, I don't think, like hosting, I could host. Ashley was like, I don't know. I was like, I think I could host right away. I'm like,
because you've already officiated.
Couple of jokes. Yeah, I'm comfortable in front of a crowd. I'm comfortable people not having any response at all.
And if you had a planned, like kind of
a couple of bits, a couple of jokes.
Yeah, you could do that.
And I could even, because we do that on the podcast, I'm just riffing, or here's what happened in my life,
right.
Oh, my kids be crazy, that kind of thing. I could definitely do some stuff.
Are you nervous?
No, not at all.
You just excited about it?
I'm very excited about it, especially because he was just like, there's just no way.
Please try and do it on a day that I can be.
Yeah, I think so.
Don't do it when I'm.
But I like the idea of it kind of being built up, and then people kind of working it out, working on it. And then a year, so it's like battle, like showdown. It's like the comedy's on a Friday and he's doing a wedding on Saturday. So, and then we're podcasting on Monday to talk about it, If
I get this right, if you do the comedy better than he does, and then he does the DJing better, do you guys switch lives?
That's it. It's a life swap, wife swap.
Okay. Oh, and wife.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, no.
He's getting married in like 2 months.
I know.
Oh, that's crazy.
No, it'll be that kind of thing.
Well, gets to enjoy a year of marriage, I guess.
We haven't put any money on it, but it does feel kind of like a gentleman's kind of bet agreement. But we'll see. I wanted to get your opinion and other. Basically, ideally, we have kind of like a scoring chart. Like a five areas
criteria.
Yes,
yeah.
and then if we have like 8 to 10 is this, and or out of 5, like.
Should I try and be there for both to be an unbiased?
Yeah, I guess.
Like
so.
actually, like because
it'd be funny.
Because then like he's gonna, I feel like, be extra hard on you. You'll be extra hard on him, but like I could be the middle ground.
Yeah.
Of like,
wait a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he'll need a Chris in his corner that has done comedy. Maybe Coffee.
This is true, yeah.
Will be his guy. Or
oh, yeah. I forgot he's a friend named Coffee.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for. Yeah, I think it'd be fun to score it out. And I'm going to ask Joe and Eric and some, basically like core things that you'd want to see. That, like, if you're at a wedding, I'm just kind of like imagine I was attending that wedding and didn't know he was going to be the DJ, or I didn't know him. And I was like, oh, things that are kind of going to like, I'm liking what I'm seeing in the setup. I'm liking the mixing. I'm liking the emceeing. The song selection is really there. He's got a good read of the crowd. He's not letting songs overplay or underplay. Definitely not letting stuff go stale. Mm-hmm. He is he's like getting the crowd to sing or clap or dance. He's engaging with them well. Just those kind of things. But I think, again, if we did like a 5, he could have that, like these 5 areas, and you score it on 1 to 5,
Yeah.
Or 0 or 5 or something, or 0 to 3, something where it's just like, and whoever gets the higher score essentially wins.
Well, the decibel meter for laughs.
Yeah.
Loud. You can get the room to get.
The laugh track, the laugh-o-meter.
Yep.
So.
I love that idea, though. That's super cool. I'm excited to see. You have a year.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
The skills are, and we can obviously practice. We'll get a lot of practice in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
And start hammering it out. But eventually, I'd love to get that date set and get the whole teams to come out and kind of grudge match.
I like it.
So, and again, I'd love to have him on the podcast before and after, to kind of talk about it. And ideally, we get some clips from each to kind of share with the crowd, with the audience of the listening.
That would be cool. Yeah.
But
oh yeah. So is the audience going to know about like what's happening as you're doing the comedy thing, or no?
I don't know. To me, they shouldn't know, because then they're unbiased. You're getting, because I could cheat and pack that room with people who are mic friendly, who are gonna. I'm like, just laugh. I'll pay you to laugh. It's hard. Standing ovation.
You should get a few people, because this is just cool.
Of course.
Yeah,
you can have your table or two supporting you. That's fine.
Yeah, but, at least I want to be at an open mic or something that you're doing. Yeah,
I think that'd be really funny to like fix it to where he's like, "Whoa, you sold out." That would impress him, right? If I sold out the room, everyone's there to see me, But again, I wouldn't be headlining. I'd be like opening or being a featured act.
Hire everyone to only laugh at you. And
yeah. Everyone else bombs. Yeah. And then he'd be like, "Yeah, these are all my best dancers." Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, that'll be really cool.
I think there's a lot of transferable skills.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that he has spent a lot of time it seems like with comedy, you have to bomb a lot to figure out what works.
Yeah.
And you also have to figure out what works for you, like your personality, what people find funny about you, and also what you find interesting to talk about, because you have to keep it fresh.
It's totally not just material. I mean, there's comedians that it's mostly them more than the material. Sometimes it's the material more than them. But yeah, it's definitely how you deliver those jokes. Like, it's really difficult to do.
And some of them are just really engaging storytellers. And then, you know, you're not laughing for 5-10 minutes, but then you're laughing really hard.
Right.
You know, but it's still a great show. You know, it's very engaging. And it's comedy because you're making people laugh, but ultimately you're also, you know, you're making people learn. Which is kind of what we do on the podcast too. So hopefully they're laughing, but I think mostly they're learning.
I think between both jobs, it's like really just being comfortable and trusting yourself of like, yeah, just letting something sit out like a joke. Yeah. Not rushing to the punchline, just letting something sit, or like not mixing out a song right away. Like, I don't know.
You have to be, you have to be comfortable with that. Like, not hitting.
Yeah.
Which again, you build up a tougher shell to it, and you recognize, you know, this is me, or this is the crowd, or there's a reason why people aren't dancing.
Well, and I remember a week or two ago, I was with Cade, and we kicked off the dance floor. A few people out there, but I had a good feeling about the crowd, and I was like, dude, I know I got a good feeling we're gonna go for like maybe an hour, and it's not gonna be much, but then it's gonna break late, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And I was so happy. But it's like, starting the job, I totally would have been like, oh no, I'm doing everything wrong right now. But it's like, no, it's just, these people really want to drink right now, and just like they want to hang out.
Yeah.
They want to grab some dessert, and then we were going. But yeah, being comfortable with that is the hard thing to do.
Well, and also having the knowledge that like it's not me, like it's and then seeing it happen. One of my friends early on in my career was at a wedding we were doing, and he's like, people aren't dancing. And I was like, just wait. It's going to break. And he's like, sure enough. And he was so impressed with my confidence about that. And that he's like, you totally called it. It did break. Like, well, yeah, you do this enough, you understand why and when it's going to happen. And then once it happens, you just keep them going. Yeah. You know? But I mean, it's similar to, there's the expectation when you come to a wedding that, oh, there's going to be dancing. We're going to be kind of expected to dance. We're going to be, you know, a lot of the environment is like, yeah, we're going to dance. We're going to party. We're going to celebrate.
It's become a huge part of wedding culture. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And same with comedy shows. I'm expecting to laugh and be entertained and hoot and holler and clap and that kind of thing. So I don't know. It's so funny to me. He was just so confident.
Whose idea was this?
Jeff started with it.
Okay.
And he was just like, there's no way you could do what I do. And I'm just like, well, you know, I can't really say that back because he already is doing what I do.
Right.
But can he do it where I'm impressed? He's doing it better than me, or just as good, where I'm like, wow.
I love this so much.
So, and I'm like, and again, he's had much more experience in comedy than I've ever had. And my guess is it's going to be a lot harder than I think. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I loved my wife's just like, oh, you're way funnier than he's good at DJing. I was like, you haven't even heard a mix. I appreciate your confidence. And I was like, it's one thing to be funny with a friend, but like on stage, you know, that's a whole other. And you've got you want feedback, you know.
Yes.
When you're talking to your friend, they're gonna laugh, they smirk, they make a sound or whatever, and so you play off that, you know. And it's like with dancing, you see people really getting worked up to whatever song. That means they're gonna love this next one too, you know.
I'm impressed, man. I don't think I could do something like that. I think I'm situationally funny, but I don't know if I could like prepare material and
I think you definitely could
deliver it. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
but like that's cool. It's really cool that you're doing that. I'm excited for you. I just like, yeah, that seems. I'd be so nervous. Like you're much more of an extrovert than I am, so you're just excited. I would be like shaking, thinking about that. I like DJing. People don't know I'm nervous. If I'd be up on stage doing comedy, I'd have a hard time hiding that I'm not nervous. Like I feel like people would know right away, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. Yeah. It's crazy. It's a lot of it's just you. It's just you know?
What I'm really excited about is having an environment where I can literally say and do whatever I want. I'm used to at weddings, like this is a professional environment. I'm a professional. It's okay to be personable and let in like a little bit of humor, a little bit of silliness, a little bit of wild party kind of stuff, energy, but it's not okay to just say whatever you think.
Right.
You know, let me get into the Palestine-Israel conflict. You know, like, I'm not going to do that on stage either because I don't really,
Are you going to do like the Kramer thing or like?
No, yeah, right, yeah. Get canceled right away. That's
well,
it's like, I'm impressed.
He's going to do whatever he wants.
I'm impressed at how quickly you got canceled. No. I'm hoping that it's funny and it's entertaining, you know.
Yeah.
So
speed run to getting canceled.
But there's so many factors to that you're really out of your control. It's very similar to weddings where it's like, oh, it's so much environment is important here.
It may be one night you would do the same set and you have a crowd that really likes it, and then one night you don't. I mean, I'm sure that's a huge thing. Comedian's experience is like it really depends on where you go. Yeah. Maybe some jokes offend people that wouldn't in certain areas. You know, like it's crazy. But comedy's such a cool thing.
I think so.
Yeah, I guess it's a similarity between both jobs that I would have never made the connection until we like started talking about it. I started working with Jeff, and I'm like, oh, I see.
Yeah,
how similar these two worlds are.
They really are. And he's got me into this professional wrestling. He's like, that's similar as well.
He's really into that. Yeah.
Yes, where it's a performance,
right?
You know, and so yeah, we'll see. Maybe that's the next thing after this. We challenge each other to a professional wrestling.
Something you're both not good at all. Then you can truly know who's better because you're both on the same skill level.
It'll be a total tie, and we'll have to settle it in the ring.
That's fine. We
Grudge
can set
match.
that up.
We a tag team, and I'll tag you in. Yeah.
Instead of like a company party, we can just do
break a chair over his head and get that ladder out.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cage
match.
Yeah, for the belt, the ultimate. Maybe we should get an ultimate like DJ belt comedy.
That would be great.
If you're coming for my belt, you know.
Yes.
He beat me fair and square.
You win? Nope. You beat me.
Nope. But yeah, so stay tuned on that. We'll see. But I'm very interested to break down, like actually have a scoring card and some areas. Again, we'll talk it. Going to a vendor mixer tonight. Hopefully there's some other DJs there. I can ask their opinions on like
I'm just picturing
things to include, things to look for. They're going to have, I mean, right away, they're going to be like, yeah, that, definitely that.
Yes.
You know, if someone who's a veteran who's really good at DJing can do this, and avoids this, you know.
I'm just picturing like do you know, I can't remember which Rocky it is, but what's the one with like the blonde Russian dude?
Oh, that's Rocky 4, I believe.
Oh man, there's a lot.
Yes.
But like they're
Ivan
both,
Dragunov,
they're both training back to back.
Yes.
For the match or whatever. I'm just picturing like you're just writing down jokes. And, like,
people
Jeff's like mixing.
Yeah.
We should like edit together a montage.
Yeah.
Like an 80s workout montage of you guys training for it.
I'm in like Siberia punching bales of hay in the snow, breaking ice.
I pictured like writing jokes or something, but like yeah, sure. If you want to do that.
Getting totally shredded. Yeah. I didn't write any jokes. I just worked out a lot to prepare for this.
That would be a hilarious set, though. If you showed up on stage,
phoned it in, made it all up,
explained the whole situation.
Yeah.
And you're like, I actually just got shredded.
Yeah.
So
you guys want to check out these abs? I was so confident that I just worked out the whole time.
See, these knuckles are bloody from punching polar bears.
I didn't prepare any material.
But I'm a badass now.
I have so little respect for what Jeff does that I just worked on my body.
That would be probably the funniest thing you could do for a set, honestly. Oh, man. That's good.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, stay tuned for that. We'll hopefully develop that more as this happens. And
this podcast was great, I think, for just making each other laugh, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys learned anything today, but we had a good time.
We'll see. But yeah, if not, I guess we'll see you at your wedding. DJ Insider Podcast. Guys, thanks so much for listening. And yeah, we'll see you at the wedding.